So what's going on, guys? My name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel today. In today's video, guys, we're going to be ranking all of the FIFA games from FIFA 09 to FIFA 21. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because today marks the day where FIFA 21 is pretty much officially dead. That's because like the 85 times 10 packs and everything are gone. There's nothing to do in the game anymore, so I think it's pretty cool to look back on all of the FIFA titles from like the previous 10 years or so. But before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and also don't forget to turn on notifications so you're notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, let's get right into it. So I'm actually recording this video for like the third time. Because the first time I did it there was a delay on my camera, so like the audio and the video footage wasn't in sync, and then the second time I actually forgot to press record. So if you're wondering why this video's gone out late, it's due to my own incompetence. But yeah, we're ranking all of the games from FIFA 09 to FIFA 21. We're going to start in order and finish at FIFA 21. So starting off with FIFA 09. Was FIFA 09 the best game? No, it wasn't. It was a very fun game. It was one of the first FIFAs I remember playing quite a lot with my family, actually. I played it with my brother and my dad, so it does hold some good memories for me. We used to play like kickoff and everything. But I don't think FIFA 09 was, the best of the best. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into silver, because I think it was just like a fairly average game, but I don't think it was terrible. Moving on to FIFA 10. I think it's about the same as FIFA 09, maybe a little bit worse actually, but the reason for that is because I didn't play FIFA 10 that much, purely because I didn't like the gameplay and I didn't find it that interesting. I know FIFA 10 was like the first game of like the new setup for EA, if you like, where they added like Ultimate Team and the modes like that, but for me it just wasn't that much of a good game, and to be honest with you, I didn't play it that much. So thinking of it, I'm going to move FIFA 09 there and leave FIFA 10 there. Now, moving on to FIFA 11, this is one of my favourite FIFAs actually. The reason for this is because I loved Pro Clubs on this game. I used to play it with my brother quite a lot, and the best thing about FIFA 11 Pro Clubs was you could mod your virtual pro. So you could download this like a saved file that someone made, and it would have like a level 127 rated player who was 8'3", and you could play online with it. So that was always quite fun. So for me, FIFA 11 was like an elite game. I loved the gameplay, I loved the colours, and it was just a great time for me. Moving on to FIFA 12, some of you might regard this as like the best FIFA of all time, and for me I don't think it is, but I think it's a very good one. It's going to go up there with FIFA 11. They felt pretty similar in terms of gameplay, but FIFA 12 looked very vibrant and colourful, and Pro Clubs on FIFA 12 was amazing, and obviously Ultimate Team was really picking up. So FIFA 12 was definitely one of the better games of FIFA that I've played, and I really did enjoy it. I just don't think it's the best of the best, so for that reason it's going to go into elite with FIFA 11. Moving on to FIFA 13, I genuinely think this game was pretty overrated. Some of you really like FIFA 13. For some of you, it's your favourite game, but for me, I think it goes into silver with FIFA 10. The reason being is it wasn't as good as FIFA 11 or FIFA 12. I didn't like the colours. I didn't really like the gameplay. The menus were pretty ugly. There wasn't that much change, and it did just feel like a bit of a dull game. I don't know why I feel this. It might just be like the way I was feeling in life back then or whatever, but FIFA 13, it kind of just felt a bit dead to me, and I was playing other games around that time anyway. So for me, FIFA 13 is like an average game, and it's going to go into silver. Now, a lot of you think FIFA 14 is the best game of all time as well, and honestly, I did really enjoy FIFA 14. I think it was a massive step up from FIFA 13. I loved Ultimate Team on FIFA 14 with like icons and everything. Well, they were called Legends back then, I think. But I also really enjoyed like Pro Clubs on that too, and I think FIFA 14 had really nice gameplay, a great soundtrack, and it was just a brilliant vibe all around. I really did like FIFA 14, so for that reason it's going to go into elite. I think FIFA 14 was a great send-off to the last generation, and it was a fantastic game. So for me, it is an elite game along with FIFA 11, FIFA 12. Yeah. Now moving on to FIFA 15, a lot of you love this game as well, and I did really like FIFA 15, but I think it was a tad overrated, so for that reason it's going to go into gold. Now the reason being is a lot of people loved FIFA 15 because they're like gambling addicts in denial. Like what I mean is you could buy coins for very cheap and you could open like infinite packs. But to be fair, the gameplay was very nice. It did feel very refreshing, but I felt like it was a little bit broken and it did get boring towards the end. So I don't think FIFA 15 was as good as FIFA 11, 12 or 14, but you know, I think it was a bit better than FIFA 09 and definitely better than 13 and 10. So I think gold is perfect for FIFA 15. You guys might hate me. Some of you would have that as the GOAT game, but not for me. That's just personal preference again. Now, FIFA 16, I did really like this game too, but I got very bored of it after a while. It was one of those games that I enjoyed at the start, and then I thought it got really dull. Ultimate Team on FIFA 16 wasn't great. There was that chemistry glitch where players wouldn't work properly. It just felt a little bit dull the more you played it, and I didn't enjoy it as much as you know, like FIFA 14 or anything, and I didn't even enjoy it as much as FIFA 15. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into silver, just because I think FIFA 16 was a bit of a flop. Again, that's personal preference, personal opinion, sorry, but I don't think FIFA 16 was one of the best. Now, moving on to FIFA 17, I don't even have to think about this. It is the greatest FIFA of all time, in my opinion. And the reason for that is it was just so refreshing. The amount of stuff they added into FIFA 17 was really, really nice. It was the first year we had FUT Champions. They added SBCs. The gameplay was fantastic. And FIFA 17 was just perfect all round. I loved playing pro clubs on FIFA 17. That was when they changed the pro structure and everything, where you had like the new player growth system. FIFA 17 really did just feel like a breath of fresh air, and honestly I love this game so much. It is without a doubt my favourite, just because I felt like it was so refreshing, and in terms of gameplay it just felt perfect. Like the meta was low driven shots, it was fast paced, the passing was good, you know, jockeying was good, everything just felt good about FIFA 17, and I can't see this game being topped for a very long time, if ever. So FIFA 17 sits comfortably at the top for me. Now, moving on to the next game, which was FIFA 18, a lot of people had a negative opinion about this game, and I did at first. I did during the cycle, and the reason for that is FIFA 17 was just that good. It was hard for FIFA 18 to live up to that. I will say FIFA 18, it felt like a new era as well. Like when you play FIFA 18, the look of the game just seemed completely different to FIFA 17 and games before that. And these 4 games seem to have like the same look and feel to them. But FIFA 18, I don't think it was that bad. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much at the start before they did all the updates, because, you know, like the AI defending was pretty weak, and, you know, you had to do a lot of it yourself. But I don't think it was as good as FIFA 17, and it did get stale towards the end. I do have to give some respect to FIFA 18 though, because it did kickstart my YouTube channel, and it's a big reason as to why I'm uploading videos now. So for me, I'm going to put FIFA 18 into gold, because I think FIFA 18 was a good game. I just don't think it was as good as any of these, and it certainly wasn't as good as FIFA 17. Now, moving on to FIFA 19. This one is very divisive in terms of opinions, because it's one of those games where you really had to choose which kind of game you liked. For example, people that enjoy arcadey styles of FIFA, the unrealistic, fast-paced games, you'd love FIFA 19 because it was broken in many ways, but at the same time it was quite a lot of fun. But if you didn't like the unrealistic arcadey feel, you'd hate FIFA 19 because it was the most unrealistic FIFA we've had. You know, the timed finesse shots and everything were ridiculously broken, but honestly, I quite liked FIFA 19. I'm going to put it into silver. And the reason for that is because, you know, even though people parked the bus in that game and everything, it was very easy to break because you could just bang it from 30 yards. It did get a little bit annoying towards the end of the game. It did feel very broken, but FIFA 19 was the first game I ever played a tournament in. I went to the Amex Stadium to play the E-Premier League for Brighton. And I did have some very fond memories of it. So I did like FIFA 19. I was very good at the game. I'm going to put it into silver. Now, FIFA 20, it's going right at the bottom for me. I think it's the worst FIFA of all time. Now, the reason for this is because it was just the most boring game I've ever played. Like, you've just come from FIFA 19, which was arcadey, fast, fun, and then you've gone to this game which tried to be realistic but didn't manage it. And I think that's the problem with these FIFA games that try and be more realistic. It's just FIFA's not ready for that, you know. They try and say it's a simulation game, and it really isn't. Like, FIFA 20 felt very, very broken. The shooting was was terrible. It felt heavy, clunky, the passing was rubbish. You had a very small pool of players to select from, and honestly it just felt very inconsistent, broken, and it was very dull. The content wasn't great. It was really boring playing FUT Champions. It didn't feel like there was much of a skill gap, and most people just parked the bus on it, and I really did not enjoy FIFA 20 all that much. So for that reason, it's going into the very, very bottom. Now FIFA 21, the last game, the one that's just died today, I think it's a step up from FIFA 20, but it's not as good as any of the other games. I don't even think it's as good as FIFA 19, to be honest with you. Now, I think they've improved shooting and stuff like that in FIFA 21. The passing's a bit better, but you've got the ridiculous AI blocks, the AI defending, you've got the fullbacks at centre-back. You know, it's just a very dull game, very minimal skill gap, I think. The whole skill cancelling thing's a load of rubbish in my opinion. I don't like that. And to be honest with you, I think this game's just a little bit disappointing. It was very depressing to play, and I didn't enjoy it that much throughout its cycle. So for that reason, it's going into bronze, because although it's better than FIFA 20, it's still a pretty bad game. But yeah, this is what my tier list looks like. What would yours look like if you were doing this? You know, what would you change? Do you agree with it or not? It's up to you. Comment down below what you'd change if you were me. But yeah, that is basically it for the video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you never miss out on any videos like this one. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you're notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.